you're like, hello.
Elle and Ezra interview, take one.
Yeah. It was so clear that Elle and I were supposed to be together, that nothing else really could matter.
Just had an intrusive thought to pick your nose.
Go for it.
Our entire lives exists within this beautiful bubble of trans love, this love between us that allows us to be like silly and pee-pee poo-poo dum-dum. That space where silliness and joy and intimacy and romance exists. I'm Elle Michelle Duran. I'm 30 years old. I am a trans feminine non-binary person living the life of a pop star and just a normal girl.
I'm Ezra Duran Michelle. I'm a trans mask person.
We were born in the same month on the same year, which is awesome for our relationship because we get all the same references.
We both watched Disney Channel.
We know the infomercials.
We know all of them.
Spin art.
Spin art.
There's one.
That's one.
What attracted you to each other romantically?
We met at a community event that was centering trans mask individuals. Ezra was performing. I immediately walked in and noticed him, and he was like bouncing around like this little Tinkerbell kind of like effervescent energy. I had followed him on social media for a bit, so I was like really excited to meet him because I thought he was like so cute and fun and free. And then he performed his music for everyone. I took a video of him and I was like, how dreamy. And I posted it on social media and tagged him, hoping that he'd follow me back, and he didn't.
I didn't. I was in a relationship with someone else who was like quite famous, and Elle came up to both of us after the show and introduced themselves. And I was so used to people introducing themselves to both of us, but then really directing their energy towards my partner at the time. And that's what I just assumed was happening. So then I sort of slipped away to go
Totally
hang out with someone else.
But also, we were in a friend group after that of like trans creators in LA. And we just found ourselves drawn to each other. I think what it was like the obscene things that I would say under my breath.
It was because the friend group, they wouldn't get Elle's jokes often, but I would like hear them say something hilarious and obscene under their breath. And then I started just like finding myself standing next to you as much as possible. And also you were really open about like spirituality stuff. At the time I had like renounced anything spirituality related because I had been so obsessed with self-help books for so long that I was like, I'm done with anything I can't see. Elle was like so open about their spirituality, and my heart like felt like I was like magnetized to them. Once I let go of anything spiritual related, it was such a clear path to them. There was no noise. It was just like, I need to be next to them. And so it was like the combo of like stupidity and depth that really solidified this connection.
That's something that like we share and that really drew us together.
Can we go to the time, this like falling in love period? What does the honeymoon phase look like?
When we first got together,
I was in a relationship and it was a polyamorous open, and that made it easy to like pursue.
The first night that we were like intimate together was really innocent. It felt like we were kids like exploring each other's bodies. Like, it felt so like
we kept our pants on.
Yeah.
We didn't have sex.
No.
It was just like cuddling and sweet and kissing.
And like so many like tingles. Like we were just like making each other, it felt like deep, like spiritual tingles.
And it was the first time that you had been intimate with someone since coming out, right? Like, in that way.
It was very significant for me.
And I knew that it was significant. I was like a self-proclaimed loud slut at the time, but I was really craving emotional depth and intimacy at that time in my life. I felt like, like permission to just slow down and like really connect with someone felt like such a treat. I was really like trying to respect the fact that this was their first time
Yeah.
being intimate. So there was that too.
You were so thoughtful and slow and consistently like checking in with me. And it really helped me rewrite these like physical trauma responses of those environments of like having last time being intimate with someone. I was like a gay man. In my experience, not a lot of communication, not a lot of checking in, not a lot of like mutual respect. And so then to feel like I was really allowed to like check in and stay who I know I was at the time, as opposed to falling into like old patterns or old emotional bodies, I was like so in love immediately. I was just like, this is how it should always be.
I was like, this is what it's like to hook up with a lesbian.
For sure.
Like, I was...
For sure.
I still very much identify with my lesbianic roots.
After a couple weeks, there was like kind of a lot of drama and...
Well, right away.
Right away. Yeah. And we both decided to, well, you kind of spearheaded the like, let's stop hooking up. And then immediately we went on a date after we broke up.
Well, I was like, well, do you want to get food?
The minute we released each other was like when we just like immediately sprung back together, which I think is like a sign of something that's true. Is that like when you're not holding on too tight, that's when like you give something the space to like flourish and to like naturally attract yourself to what's true for you.
Yeah.
And
it happened so obviously.
It was so clear.
It was like we could not say goodbye to each other.
Mm-hmm.
In that like 2 weeks of not hooking up, we spent so much time together, and it was like so cool to focus on different aspects of our relationship, because like once we did start hooking up, it was like really electric, and we got to grow other parts of the relationship and the connection,
like our friendship.
It just all happened so perfectly.
This feeling we found together felt like, for me, like the feeling of me, like, and that is always what I'm going to follow. You have the choice to separate yourself from the things that don't fall in alignment with you, or they're going to fall away themselves in a very explosive manner. Yeah. And so our lives kind of exploded, and then what we were left was like this like beautiful nugget of love, and then we have built our lives around that. That beautiful nugget, and now that nugget is a giant tender, like a chicken tender.
Oh, chicken tender.
Yeah. You know, like chicken.
Like a hot chicken tender.
What do you two collectively spend way too much time talking about?
We spend way too much time talking about 2000s it girls.
Whoa.
Do you agree?
No. It's not too much.
But it's a lot. Like Hilary Duff, Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton. That era, to me,
Amanda
Vines is where we live.
Yeah.
Like the music, Ashley Simpson, Ashley Tisdale.
Ashley Simpson.
The music of that time is the soundtrack to our lives.
The song Pieces of Me by Ashley Simpson at least once a week.
Absolutely.
It's a really good song.
Rockstar by Hannah Montana.
Not Miley Cyrus. It was Hannah.
She goes, I'm unusual, not so typical.
Way too smart to be waiting around.
Tai Chi practicing, snowboard champion.
I could fix a flat on your car. I might even be a rock star.